Welcome in, everyone, to another exciting edition with the Second Chances. We are going to be jumping back into maybe not combat, but at least initiative order here very shortly. But first, our thank yous, as we always start with, the first of which goes out to Critical Role for creating the wonderful world of Exandria that we all get to play in, as well as to all of the artists whose music we use here on the channel. Reliquary Records, Dungeon Glitch, Critical Role, Hunter Rogertson, and Borislav Slavov. We use Spotify to listen to all of them, but I'm sure you can find them on various platforms. So last we left our heroes, they were in the Pallid Grove, which is a plateau within the Sirios Mountains, which is home to Timavra and the Pallid Elves. They had received word that a strange sickness, a plague, was going around, affecting the elves. But whenever they left the grove, they would immediately get better. When they got here, they found out that a lumbering company was moving in and chopping down all of the magical petrified trees of the forest. But something had wiped them out, and a strange corruption or curse seems to have been spreading through the forest. Ooh, somebody's mic is going crazy right now. It's your girl. So moving through the forest, through the grove, they went back to Timavra's hometown, where they found a few survivors, including her ex, Norison. After escaping her former hometown and making their way to the massive portal, which was on the verge of becoming a permanent fixture of Exandria, a anchor portal, as the Oracle called it, Norison was killed. They tried to revivify him, but his spirit wasn't ready to return and instead wanted to be with his wife, who had passed some time before. As they neared the portal, Maeve had I'm not really sure what we're going to call it, an experience, an incident with both the Crawling King, but also a visitation or a boon from the Moonweaver, as she was bestowed a brand new vestige of divergence, the Moonwoven Quiver, which was already in its awakened state.
It's pretty cool.
The Second Chances continued towards the portal, which I don't know if I had mentioned prior, but the cavern that you see before you, Maeve, you would know this as the main entrance back underground into the tunnels that the Pallid Elves used before coming above ground. The massive portal here needed to be closed, obviously. But before the Second Chances had a chance to begin closing the portal, they were attacked by a massive, corrupted treant that also spawned both undead redcaps, which were in these vine and web-covered cocoons, as well as massive spiders born of the blood and out of the wounds of people that this treant attacked. The Second Chances both combated Granny Autumn, as she was called, as well as tried to close the portal. Granny Autumn was defeated. So was Rosalind, who was revivified at the last moment by Zealous. And in trying to close this portal, the Second Chances realized that because it was so big, the power taken, or the power needed and the toll that it takes to even attempt to close it, damaged them as well. So that's where we're going to jump back into tonight. Zealous, you have just used Revivify on Rosalind as she lays before you, covered in more blood than you have ever seen before. Barely recognizable. The now unanimated corpses of the Redcaps lay sprawled out beside her. And as the ritual finishes, you can see the wounds on her begin to slowly close. She's still obviously very, very hurt, but as the last one begins to stitch itself shut, Rosalind, you draw breath once more. You have never been in more pain than you are right now.
Yep. Do I still feel light?
You do still feel that connection to light as well.
She thinks, fuck just happened. Am I alive?
Light echoes back. You can think about that later. Get on your feet.
Yeah.
With that,
Good to see you too.
Leo, it is your turn.
Seeing how hurt everyone is, he's actually going to not be close to anybody when he does this. And he's going to sacrifice 30.
Who do you think you are, Zana?
Okay.
Holy shit.
Shit.
But can I also try to invoke the Everlight with my bracers to try to help me close this portal?
Interesting. Make a religion check for me.
Right out of the gate with that. With that plan. Well.
Not bad. 19 plus... What's my religion? Where's R? 0, so 19.
19. Okay. What do you say, or what do you it's kind of I guess in a sense a prayer that you're giving to the Everlight. So what message are you sending her as you put your hands up to this portal before you attempt to close it?
I know I'm not deeply religious, and I'm just coming to this, but I can't see these kids die here trying to close this. I'd rather put myself at danger than put these people at danger anymore. Will you please help me? Just a little bit. And if I have to give my life to do that, I will.
As you put your hands up to the portal and you focus on it, you feel the thrum of your tattoo. You open yourself. You allow your body, your soul to become a conduit for the Oracle's power. And you feel it flow through you, and everything kind of goes white. The rest of you see those same kind of statics, the cracks, the stability of the portal starting to shift. It's starting to weaken. It's still so massive that you can't comprehend how much it's going to take to close this thing, but something's working. What you're doing is helping. And you see that same sort of aurora of blue magic or energy begin to pulse through it and towards Leo. Leo, you take 136 cosmic damage, and all of you see this burst of energy, and a smoking corpse is thrown from the portal.
Not double my
Not double his
HP.
HP. He did survive it.
Back into this tree, and all that you see... sorry, Leo, I know it's not technically double your HP, but all that you see is a smoldering skeleton with the shining bracers of the Everlight still attached to his wrists.
If I ain't gonna fix that.
Well, Maeve is screaming.
That is a success.
That only counts as one success, Robbie.
Was a guaranteed success.
Oh my god, you're terrible.
As Maeve screams, Rosalind, you sit up. You see what she's looking at. Zana is speechless. How does everyone react? Zealous, what's going through your head?
Nothing. The Zealous is at a complete blank. It's not thinking of anything right now.
Hermia?
Hermia's kind of speechless. Like her mouth is like open, but like it's just like no sound is coming out. And in her mind she's thinking, I don't want to do this right now. I don't want to. Yeah, she's just a mess. She's slowly hyperventilating.
Corey?
I think for that brief moment when Corey was resolute and like, yeah, we're gonna do this, we're second chances, we got this, and then to watch that happen so suddenly, I think Corey already has pretty light skin, so but they completely pale. I think like even their form begins to shift back into their like, you know, very gaunt, like bald-headed, like version of themselves when they were the most scared in their life.
Maeve, what are you feeling right now?
She's already been like on one knee just because of the damage that she's taken. And so when she sees Leo flung back, she's screaming as she's kind of uselessly holding a hand out towards him, even though she can't reach him. And I think, despite the gross that she had done to get this bow, there's just a lot of panic, and guilt is kind of far down because it's kind of too soon to really think that through. But just a panic of like, are we all gonna die here? Is this it? Are we gonna get this portal closed before we die? Which might be the best case scenario right now.
Rosalind, as you sit up, you hear Maeve's shriek, and you see what everyone's attention has been drawn to. What is going through your mind right now?
Yeah, Roz was kind of like in a haze of pain and like trying to like get her wits about her again, but that shakes her out of it pretty good. And she looks around and sees the looks on everyone's face, and she's like, all right, shit out of your mind right now. And she yells out, hey, eyes forward, second chances. We're not gonna let him die for nothing. Keep at it.
Rosalind, as you call this out and begin to look around, you want to make sure there's no other dangers here. All of the red caps motionless on the ground. You see what remains of the corpse of this treant monster, which has very quickly began to bubble and deteriorate into this strange, just sort of sludgy liquid. But out of the corner of your eye, you catch something through the portal in that sort of swampy bog on the other side. And you see something beginning to bubble and branches beginning to poke out of it, and a bulbous nose begin to grow from it. Something is forming on the other side of the portal.
As she spots that, she's gonna point. Zana, eyes forward.
Do you want Zana to attack that thing or try to close the portal?
Attack it.
What? No, close the portal.
She's going to move back this way.
Well, let me rephrase. How much of this portal has closed from where it started? Can we have any idea
how close we
how much
are?
we've done?
Yeah.
You can't. It's not getting smaller in the way that the previous ones have as you close it, but with each success, the stability of it seems to further wane.
I mean, yeah, we just have no idea how many successes we have.
You know what?
Considering how many.
She can. It's a bonus action or an action to try and close it, so she'll take her 2 shots and then
Yep.
use her bonus action to attempt to close it. Or actually,
There
one
we
shot
go.
because she's gonna
That's
use her big one. She rolls grit as well. That is technically a hit. The blast from her rifle echoes throughout the section of the forest here, even with it being as sparsely filled with trees as it is. And you watch as this thing begins to rise and begins to form as there's a massive hole blown through it. And then, like the Venom symbiote, it forms back up again. I don't think that did a whole lot. We need to get this thing closed. And she's going to move back over. Corey, do you want to link with Zana? She's not going to grab you, but she gives you this look like if you want to help, you can.
I think Corey, is just crying and,
She'll,
just shakily offers a hand.
she kind of puts hers out. She's like, "Are you with me?"
I don't think Corey can talk right now, but they'll offer her their hand.
Okay.
I just
I
imagine
believe-
he tries and can't reach it.
I believe between the two of you, you only have a plus. She only has a +4 to her roll. So she is going to add. She needs to roll real high. You're helping. She's gonna add 10. Bonus of 10 to her roll. You feel the pulse from the portal trying to fight back. Corey, do you want to share the burden of this damage with Zana or no?
Yeah.
Jesus. You each... that's a lot of 7s and 8s. You each take 20... Is it 28 damage? You each
Yep.
take 28 damage. There is no shaking in the stability of the portal this time. This was just pure retaliation. That was not a success.
Jesus fuck.
Hermia.
Hermia is just gonna look towards where Leo was, and then look over to Raz and Zealous. And she's just going to book it to the portal. How many inspo do I need to put into this to get a success?
For every inspo that you put into it, you get 1. You get a +1 to it.
And what do I roll for this?
On your own, you get a +3, and for every person who's touching you, you get +1.
She looks at like everybody who's like dead.
Just because someone aids you doesn't mean they have to take the damage.
Okay, noted.
But it's
All right.
their choice if they take it or not.
Oh, okay, so I can't be like, I don't want you to take the burden.
Correct. I mean, you could tell them, let me take it all, but it's ultimately up to them. So you wanted to come up to the portal?
So I need to, and what is the success, like 30?
So far, everyone who's got a success has rolled a 30.
Okay.
Zana reaches up and takes a hold of your hand, Hermia. You look down and like she's dropped, like Corey, she's dropped her any of the usual forms she takes and is in her changeling form, but her skin, which is normally like sort of this porcelain white, looks more ash colored, and from sort of like her eyes down where you can see it, there's like cracks forming almost from this damage that she's taken, but she takes a hold of your hand.
Now that I'm close to the portal and like have seen it react to us trying to close it, before like the fight had started, Hermia wanted to like make an Arcana check to see like if she's able to somehow like through like her expertise in Arcana like figure out if there's any way she can supplement like her efforts to close it.
What do you mean by supplement your efforts?
Like add like a spell or an effect with it.
Interesting. Go ahead and make an Arcana check for me.
Okay. That is 26.
Okay. From what you've seen so far, that's been happening to everyone, and what you can feel through them, the power that it's taking to close this, you have to focus not just through the tattoo, but through you. And the Architect's influence in magic is fighting back this time. This portal wants to live. And you think that if you have any magic left, any spell slots, you could try and focus some of that magic as well to get a further bonus. So if you have a spell slot left or Mystic Arcanum and you want to burn that, I will give you a bonus equal to the spell level.
Okay. So during the fight, I don't know what happened to my spell slots. My health is fine, but not my spell slots.
You used Counterspell, and you used Investiture of Flame, which was a Mystic Arcanum, so you should have, I think, 1 or 2 spell slots left at 5th level.
I have 2, so, and that would be 5th level.
Yep. So you have a bonus of 3. If you link with Maeve, Zana, and Corey, you're up to a bonus of 6.
Okay.
Yep.
And then
I grabbed your leg.
And then that's a 5.
And then if you use a spell slot, if you use one of your spell slots, that's 5 on top of that, so that puts you at plus 11 right now.
Okay.
And then you can add as many inspo or open yourself up and just tell me how much you want to add.
Okay. Okay. So that is so with everybody's help in the 1 spell slot, I'm at a 26.
Okay.
So I will use both of my spell slots.
Okay.
To forgo having to like have other people like.
Yep. So you all see as Hermia runs up, flames still whipping around her in like this cloak of fire. It doesn't hurt your friends. I'm going to say that right now, since there's no enemies, just for Flame, you can keep it up without hurting anybody. And she comes up, and Zana takes a hold of a hand, and Maeve, you take a hold of her other hand. And as she's standing within the portal here, there is this silvery pulse that sort of flares against Hermia, out of Hermia. Not just the cloak. There's something else as she begins to channel her magic granted to her from Foira Marth through her and into this portal, and you see the blue aurora, the telltale sign of the Architect's magic trying to fight back. And as it lashes out towards all of you, this cloak of flames seems to whip back and fight it back and almost work as a shield. And once again, there's this deepening tremor of energy and lightning that ripples through the entire wall of energy here. Hermia, you solely take 10 damage from it, but no additional damage beyond that. But it does seem to be another success.
How many successes have we had now?
You're at 4.
4. I thought we were at 5. Fuck. Okay.
Rosalind, as you step up and push yourself to your feet, you see that whatever that is beginning to bubble up on the other side isn't the only thing, and spiders are beginning to pull themselves up out of the sludge and make their way through the portal. You also notice further back, maybe 30 yards behind this thing that's bubbling up, you see 2 individuals. It's tough to make out any details from where you are, but it looks like there are 2 humanoids of some kind that seem to be coming in the direction of the portal from behind this oozing mound, that as it's gaining more form, you can tell now that that is the same creature that you all just killed.
Oh, it's Granny Autumn?
It is.
Yeah.
Motherfucker. How stable is the portal looking at this point?
Make an Arcana check for me.
You got some inspo. You can also do the spend.
16.
Oh, it's pretty good. I was gonna say you could also do
16.
the spending. That's what if you need to.
It's definitely breaking down. You know that you're making progress, but it's hard for you to tell like how close you are, because this thing is so big, and all the previous ones have shrunk every time that you've gotten closer.
Maybe this one's different, or maybe we haven't gotten to the shrinking stage yet.
I will also say that after watching Hermia as well, I think that you know that regardless of if you successfully weaken the portal or not, if you make an attempt to do so, you are going to get hurt in some way.
Yeah. All right. She'll spend half her movement to get up.
Yep.
Oh boy. Half her movement to go 5, 10, 15.
Any lay on hands left?
Yeah, I do. About to burn it all.
I don't blame you.
She's gonna burn everything she's got left and lay on hands. Give herself the hug of life. Fuck. And then she is gonna bonus action to Misty Step down to here. And go cut this shit off and try and block the way.
All right.
That's all I got left.
Maeve.
Okay. Let me test this distance, because I potentially might be able to do something with a lot of the spiders with Luster.
Okay.
But if I try to do the portal, I probably can't take the HP hit unless I'm gonna die, unless I'm gonna go unconscious. I don't know how people feel about that.
I would also
No.
say, too, that after seeing what happened to Leo, there may be some fears about what happens.
I think if this reduces you to 0, you die.
You're yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So I guess well, my healing is not gonna. I could. Do you want me to focus on getting rid of the spiders? 'Cause I might be able to help a little bit with that.
I mean, it's your call.
I would also say, like, even if you aren't trying to, like, close the portal, maybe don't go so far away.
So that
So,
you
like,
can
we
still
can
link
still,
up.
yeah, link up.
Yeah, for sure. Let me.
Go
Can I
drag
do-
my corpse back to see if the kids still have my bones.
Can I do Luster's part first? and
Yeah,
let's
go
check
for
the
it.
demon?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I'm gonna have Luster. He flying, so he gonna go. He got 40 feet of movement. So I'll put him here, and then I would like to use my cone attack and not hit Roz.
Sure. I think we actually have cone markers
It's a-
somewhere,
do.
don't they?
It's a
Yeah, here
30
we go.
foot. Is it 30 feet cone?
I think
30-foot
for the right
cone.
wing, yeah.
Okay. All right, so what's the most we can get? You can get
Okay.
3, 4. So you can get those 4 with it.
That would be perfect because Roz is next to the other two, and I'd rather her get
All
those
right.
ones.
So, Luster
It
comes
is-
down and breathes, I think, acid damage right now.
No, I get to choose.
Oh, yeah, go for
So,
it. Yep.
Yep. So I will choose lightning.
All right.
They need to make a dex saving throw. It's not that high.
Even if they make it, they do not have a whole lot of HP, and with Luster's lightning breath jumping from one to another and spewing it out, they quickly pop and sizzle away. But you can see that quite a bit more are beginning to bubble up on the other side with Granny Autumn. It seems that wherever this place or whatever it is connected to, this is their home place, and they are much stronger and more in number when coming from there.
Okay. I will. Okay. If you guys don't mind. Would you rather I try to close the portal but not take any damage, or because I got inspo banked up as well? Does inspo still take damage to us? I don't know if that was-
Yeah.
Hermia
Yes.
didn't open herself and still took some damage, yes.
Okay, that doesn't really help.
Not
okay.
as much damage, but
Yeah.
still hurt.
Great. This is a hard decision to make at 3 HP.
If
Um.
you are open to it, Zana looks over at you and just nods and says, "Do it."
How come Zana's allowed to do that?
Because she's going to try and do what Leo wanted to do earlier and just take the damage for somebody.
God, I'm not gonna spend that many points on it.
Corey says no.
Corey says no. Corey, what HP are you at on a scale of? Because I can't see your numbers.
Neither could I.
Corey, oh, that's weird. Corey's at 9. I'll change it so that you can see it.
Okay. Fuck.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Okay.
I was at 66 of 93, so
You also
Yeah,
used
I know.
30. Like, you opened yourself to 30.
Yeah.
it was only taking 1 damage last session. You weren't rolling D8.
I know.
I
didn't
was
realize-
I was rolling d8s last session, but the difference was I probably rolled some low numbers, but also you were divvying it up between 5 people, and it was only like 7 to 8, I think.
Fuck me. Okay. Here's what we're gonna. I can't do that because it's a bonus action. Fuck. Okay. Okay. I don't think this is gonna help much, but this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna cast a 3rd level spell slot of aid, and I'm gonna choose myself, Corey, and Zana.
Does everybody get 10?
Everyone gets 10, and their HP will be maxed to 10 for the duration of this.
Okay, so technically HP is 10 more than what it currently is.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
You do get healed 3, but you also have 10 more. Yeah. She'll give apologetic look to Zana, but that will be her turn, I think.
She says, it's okay. Corey, before it gets to your turn, Rosalind, this thing is coming together much, much faster than you feel like it should be. The two individuals behind are getting closer as they are basically broken into like a run at this point. And they're a bit closer now. You can see them more clearly. These two individuals wading through this bog of sludge and decay. Both of them are male. The first much older with graying hair, shorter beard. You see this large gnarled staff. He seems human, though the most eye-catching detail is that he's covered in similar corruption to what has been spreading through the grove. Parts of his skin are dark, cracked with these black veins dotted around his neck. 2 antlers sit on his head with these wicked spikes and sort of barbed ends on them. The other man, a tiefling, seems a bit more youthful, but you can still see years of experience behind his one eye. The other covered in a patch. He wears this long coat that you'd expect of like a sea captain or a pirate. One of his horns has also been snapped off. And he carries in his hand this large blade that you see several glittering gems embedded in the hilt. All of them around what's in the center is a single blinking eye. As they get a bit closer, the man holds up his staff and you see it begin to pulse with this dull gray light. And the pulse quickens a few times before this massive sort of beacon of energy bursts from it, and it comes through the portal, landing, I believe it's a 30-yard radius. Whoops. I need the line back. Oh, you don't matter. And as you watch this orb of gray energy kind of sail through the sky over you, it hits a point and flashes, and ash begins to fall from it and coalesce around Rosalind, Zealous, Corey, Zana, Hermia, and Maeve. And all of you heal for... Ooh, that's a good roll. It's going to be 10, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24... for 25 HP as a mass cure wounds goes off.
I'm almost at full. Hold on, let me adjust my
The tiefling shouts, how do we know they aren't the ones who cracked this thing open, Mick? And the one who sent the heal out says, no need to attribute to the folly of youth what can easily be explained by the malevolence of the gallows. Steel yourselves, young heroes. We shall pull back the poison spilled into your world. This blight is not your burden to bear. Corey, it is your turn.
Where are they?
Where's Bill?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Is Apple here?
Apple is not here.
You can't do that. Ugh. Okay.
Is this from
Corey,
a reference?
This is from Mia's homebrew world.
Oh, very cool. That's awesome.
You fucker. No, I love it. I'm going to I'm gonna have my spawn come up here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna have it fling 2 bolts, 1 each, at the 2 speeders.
Okay. So long as you don't roll nat ones, they'll hit.
Okay, yeah, because it's a plus. Oh, it's just my spell attack modifier, so 20 to hit,
All right, Shadow Corey, you're up.
And then 27 to hit.
Yep. So yeah, you take both of them out, and Rosalind, you kind of center yourself a bit more as the tree, Granny Autumn, is starting to come up, and you need to at least keep it on the other side of this portal, if you have any chance of closing it with her not on this side.
Yeah.
The tiefling has come up behind it and has begun to lay his attacks into it as well. All right, that was Shadow Corey. Anything else you want to do, Corey? Because she gets to take like her own turn, right?
Yes, but I brought it close to me, and I would like to try again, but if possible, can my spawn just absorb the damage? Like if I channel it through to them because it's like an extension of me.
Make an Arcana check.
Okay.
See if you can do something
knew it 'cause it's
similar
what
to
I would
what
ask.
similar to what Hermia did.
I'm gonna spend an inspo just to make it potentially 18.
Okay. You think you can do that. You think you can manage it. So currently, if everyone links, you have a 3 plus 3. You have a plus 6 to your roll to close this. How much of yourself would you like to open up? How much of a bonus do you want to give to it?
Do not say 30.
Be careful saying even 10, man.
29.
No, don't say that either.
I will do.
Learn from my mistake.
We love you, Leo. We're gonna figure it out.
Youth culture. I will add. I will do 8. So I have a plus 14, right?
Okay. Yep.
If my math is right.
Yep.
And then I'm going to spend. Oh, I don't know.
You can either spend an inspo to
you
can either spend an inspo to roll twice and take the higher result, or you can spend a number of inspo and get that much of a bonus.
Okay, what if, because I saw Hermia do it, can I spend a spell slot to get a plus 5? Because I haven't used my action yet. Like, that was just my spawn.
Sure. So now that puts you at 19.
So I have plus 19. I'm not going to open myself up, but I will spend an inspo and the spell slot.
Okay. So you're at 20 then. Or are you spending the inspo to get advantage?
I'm spending, sorry, the inspo to get advantage.
Okay.
So then
so
it's just
plus
plus 19.
Yep. So go ahead and make your roll.
Okay. So my highest was 13, so that's a 33. Wait, I can't math.
32.
32?
Okay. You and your shadow spawn both take 5 damage as it's split between the two of you. And there is a low thrum that all of you kind of feel as the air around you begins to vibrate. And especially if you were standing in or sort of next to the portal, you feel that vibration reach all the way down to your bones. And you can see now that the image, the tear, sort of where one world becomes the next. Before it was seamless. When you walked up to this portal, this world, they would just sort of merge together. But now, as this begins to vibrate, you can see that there's a film that separates your world from this other one. And it isn't stopping like before. The interference, the crackling, the breakdown of this portal is continual now. You are on the cusp of something happening. Anything else you'd like to do, Corey? Is at the end of your turn?
Do I still have a bonus action, or no? Because I had to use a spell slot to like as an action.
If you didn't use your bonus action
Or
for
is it just
anything,
random?
then yeah, I'll let you try again if you'd like to.
Okay.
I'd say right now too, like
I will-
following that attempt, Corey is giving off this odd aura as she began to sort of shed her spell slots and her magic to help empower this. And there's just like this, it almost looks like a cloak, the way the ether and the arcane is falling off of her back like a cloak, as the energy from the architect's energy from the breach, as it tried to fight back, is buffeting against her. You just see her shedding this arcane energy. But yes, if you'd like to also use your bonus action to try again, you may.
Someone's mic is freaking the fuck
Okay.
out.
It's Corey's, yeah.
It's probably mine. I'm so sorry.
You're
I
good.
can't
You're
hear
good.
it for
Is
some
that
reason.
better?
It's just like a
just
random like
really
every
loud
30
pops every
it'll
now
just
and
like
then.
pop and stuff. Yeah.
I can't hear it.
Jesus, fuck,
Like that.
Keeps jump scaring me.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
All
Okay.
good.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and try again, and I will. I'll spend another spell slot to get the +5.
Okay. So you get 6 from everyone. +5 is at 11. Didn't you do something that gave you like 8 last time? How'd you get up to 19 last time? I forgot.
Yep. 19 last.
Oh wait, I think I did open. Wait, did I?
I don't
You opened
remember.
yourself up to 10, didn't you? Because then you took 5
I
damage
don't-
and 5
You
damage.
did.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I said that wrong. I did. It was 8, so I should take
Okay.
more than 5.
So yes. So give you and Shadow Corey back your 5 because you took a static amount for not spending anything. But since you opened yourself up, you'll actually take damage. But this will still be split between the two of you.
That's fine.
Oh boy, you say that now. You take 15 damage, and Shadow Corey takes 15 damage.
Oh boy.
So now, on your bonus action, you have +11 before spending anything if you have a spell slot to use.
Yes, I do. I will spend that spell slot, and
So you're at 11.
I think that just puts me at the 11. Yeah.
Do you want to open yourself up at all?
I'm not going to, just so I can be. No, I don't.
Okay.
I'll just be a damage soaker
All
for
right.
everyone else's attempts.
Go ahead and make. Wait. So did you want to make a final bonus action roll? With the +11?
I just did.
oh,
I
okay.
I rolled
rolled
22.
a 14,
Should be 26.
plus 11.
So 26.
Oh, well.
25.
25. You and Shadow Corey both take 5 damage as you attempt in that moment to try and push back one more time. And you see like this flare of energy sort of burning off of Corey, but this time the portal is too much and she can't quite get to the level that she needs. Zealous, it is your turn.
Okay. We're gonna go ahead and bonus action to turn into starry form. The chalice.
Are you already in starry form?
I
Or
was
any-
not.
Oh, okay, okay. Figure I'd ask, then it wouldn't be an action.
No, it's just a bonus action. But we're gonna move down here and we're gonna take out the staff of healing and use 5 charges for a mass cure wounds. So that'll be 16 points of healing to Rosalind, myself, Corey, Shadow Corey, Zana, and Maeve. And then we'll also use this Chalice Starry, or this Chalice heal on Corey for an additional 16.
And
That's wonderful and disappointing at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And because you're holding the staff of healing, you don't get the moon sickle.
correct.
Okay.
Really, that's how I'm saying it.
Mhm.
But that's the last charge on it, so I have to roll a d20.
Uh-oh.
All right, we're good.
It's fine.
Oh, could it blow up?
And a 1, it can just disappear forever.
Oh, okay. I thought it was gonna deal damage.
No. So that was my bonus action and my action. The rest of my movement, I'm going to run over to the remains of Leo and just start inspecting, looking at the damage that's been done. Like, how bad is it?
He's a skeleton.
Not great.
What skill? I'm gonna let you pick what skill you want to roll here to try and infer what has happened.
Perception?
History.
History.
I rub my eyes against the bones.
You know what? Tell you what.
Okay.
Sure. Roll perception.
$32.
So as you kneel down over near Leo, it's just charred, blackened bone. It's still sizzling and smoking. The bracers of the Everlight are around his wrists, and as you are looking, there's some connection, I think, between the two of you that you don't fully understand, but your connection to the Wild Mother, his connection to the Everlight, you look past the material, you look past what is here, and you're able to peer through onto a level that's more attuned with nature, with the state of being. And you can sense that nothing currently remains of Leo. He has been severed from the material plane. Whether that means he is somewhere else, or the magic and the damage that this cosmic energy does has unmade him, you don't know.
Would I assume that reincarnate would not work on him, like bringing him back, or would I not know for certain?
You wouldn't know for certain, but I think that you have doubts on whether or not you have the magic, the power, or the abilities to undo something that the supposed creators of the gods have done.
Okay, that's my turn.
Leo, we'll get to you.
Rude.
Zana's turn. She is going to reach out. Anyone who would like to grab a hold can.
Hermia does.
Maeve does.
Do not do 30 or 29.
28.
Don't do that either. Under
Swear
a
to God.
10.
Shadow Corey does not count. You get bonuses based on tattoos. I will let Shadow Corey soak some of the damage that you take, but so she can technically
not-
only reduce your damage.
That's fine.
So for Zana is 3, 4, 5, so she has plus 6. It's not a lot. You're all looking relatively healthy. She is going to trust in all of you
Yeah. And then we die.
that you can help take some of this, and she... so let's see. So she is going to add 15 to this roll.
What?
Okay.
15 d8?
I mean, it will be split 4 ways, keep in mind.
If you
So
want
it's a
to.
lot,
You don't
but-
have to.
I mean, Hermia is going to because she doesn't trust Zana not to kill herself.
Did I say 14 or 15?
You said 15. Did you kill us?
Well, first of all,
Probably.
everyone will take...
Divided by 4.
Oh my god. Robbie, you're the worst.
65 divided by 4.
divide that by 4 for me because I'm bad at math.
16.
16?
Yep, so everybody takes 16. Rosalind, this
Yeah.
thing is almost fully formed now as you are standing, staring it down, waiting for it to attempt to cross so you can try and push it back. These two people from this world are close enough now to where they are sort of engaging with it, and even though it's kind of staring you down as it's coming back, it's lashing out towards them, and it's distracting enough that it hasn't had a chance to start moving forward yet. And you all hear this ear-shattering sound. It's not something that's easy to describe, but it is piercing. Like it's on a frequency that you can almost barely register, and then like veins or webs snaking from the point where Zana is touching the portal, it begins to spread out further than you can see, to the left, to the right, up into the sky. And then the whole thing, like a mirror, shatters. And you see as the energy from it begins to come crashing down, just begins to disintegrate into the air. But there's this all-encompassing static that just makes everything feel like it's shaking and coming apart. And anyone who is within 20 feet of the portal, which would be all of you, takes 20 except for Zealous, takes 24 cosmic damage.
Oh boy.
From the fallout and the interference of this planar breach, as it becomes so unstable that it loses its anchor to Exandria. And as everyone's vision goes white, you're hearing deafened. It eventually begins to clear, and as you open your eyes, everything is calm.
24.
Everything is quiet. And the last thing that you saw, Rosalind, was those two brave souls fighting back against whatever that corruption was and whatever that world was. And one of them gives you a knowing nod as it all vanishes.
Oh.
May falls to her knees and just gasping.
Hermia wants to, like, collapse on the ground and start crying, like, profusely, but she remembers she has a job now, and she turns towards, Leo's, like, skeleton and just walks over to it.
Yeah, Raj sheathes this lady, Radiant Sister, and starts climbing back up to the area where they are to go join him.
Yeah, Maeve will eventually walk over towards Leo as well.
Yep. You all gather around what remains of Leo.
And I want to say channel divinity, even though like I don't have it, but just like draw on like my power from the Raven Queen to like try to reach out and see where Leo's soul is, if it's like passed beyond the veil or not.
Yeah, because everyone that you've met so far that has met an end, they've been there after the fact, and you don't see him here the same way that you did Norrison. You don't immediately feel him here the same way that you did with the old man back in Timavra's village, and you close your eyes, grasping Foamir, and you try to focus, and you don't sense anything to take to the other side.
Do I get the sense that it's like left already and went to the other side on its own?
You don't know.
I don't know. Okay.
I think
cool.
Zana helps you up, Maeve, if you're still sort of on the ground.
Yeah, she'll let her help her out, but she'll definitely want to go towards Leo.
Yeah, you all, I think, join and are around him right now.
She'll just wait for... She sees Hermia is busy, so she's going to wait to hear from her before saying anything.
I don't suppose I could, like, make some kind of religion arcana roll to see what the fuck just happened? Like, why his soul is not here? Or, like...
Make an arcana check.
Okay, here we go. That is a 28. Rolled a 17.
It's very difficult to know for sure. There's not going to be any absolute answers here. But if you were to try and formulate some sort of hypothesis, some sort of explanation as to what happened, you know that, according to the Oracle, that the architect is the progenitor of the gods. They created the gods. They are a force of the universe more than they are a god among gods. They are creation. They make and they unmake. And as best as you can surmise, because the energy from that kind of entity ended Leo, that he was unmade.
Well, Hermia doesn't like that answer. Because she is a scholar, I guess. Like, she's like, well, energy cannot be created or destroyed. It goes somewhere. It just doesn't cease to exist. That's not, like, that's impossible. And she's just gonna, like, look up at the sky and just yell at the top of her lungs and say, "Hey, Oracle Lady, I think you owe us some answers."
It echoes
What's
into
going-
the forest.
What's going on?
Hermia just shakes her head. This whatever this magic is, it basically unmade him. There's nothing left. There's no soul to, like, take to the other side. This shouldn't be possible.
Maeve, I don't know if you would have filled everyone in on what Mr. Black told you, the little bit of sort of conversation that you had with him.
I think so. Yeah, the cosmic energy
But
part, at least. Yeah.
And I think you're all, probably at least aware of, basic principles of realities, that matter can't necessarily be destroyed. I mean, even when it comes to magic, right? You don't just make things out of nothing. You have to transmute. Matter still needs matter. But when she says that, I think it reminds you to what Mr. Black said, that at the cosmic level, at the power level that the architect wields, things can just be made and unmade from and into nothing.
I mean, if we're dealing with forces that powerful, this cosmic magic, then I don't know, it's defying everything we already know.
It's unnatural. What it is.
You
Corey?
saying he's gone and not coming back?
It means that, in a sense, that he just doesn't exist anymore. There's nothing to bring back. And it doesn't even make any sense.
Well, maybe we could try something. We're closing portals, we're opening portals that uses cosmic magic. Maybe
Zana just shakes
Now
her head
that-
as you're trying to make sense
now that-
of it.
Hermia, I maybe assume you like told me like about like your conversations about cosmic magic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen it. Am I able to identify it now, like with like detect magic as like a different school of magic?
Maybe. I mean, I think that theoretically you wouldn't be able to identify it as another school of magic. It would show up as something different. So in that sense, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I
Mhm.
see it as being magic, but it wouldn't be like from like a
Yeah.
school of magic that I'd recognize.
Yeah, I'll say so.
Okay, in that case, if I use that arcane seeker necklace,
Mm-hmm.
would I be able to tell if that same magic is coming from our tattoos?
It's,
Is it?
It's very, very weak. But yeah, it is.
I wonder if all of us link together like we did with the portal,
right. But
and we use this magic from our tattoos to basically create like this pool of cosmic magic, and we supplement that with a revivify spell or some kind of resurrection spell, if we could basically undo him being undone.
I mean, I don't know the technicalities of it, but that's what I was thinking without all the actual intellectual stuff behind it.
Hermia just kind of like just shrugs
Y'all might as well
sheepishly.
be speaking another language to Roz. She's like,
But yeah, like I said, we've been closing. We even opened a portal once. We obviously have something connected to this cosmic energy.
I
And
say
we all
it's worth a shot, right?
maybe the power of love will actually be on our side.
Zealous, do you
Our
have
friendship.
any spell left that can bring him back potentially with our help?
Not today. I
Not
could
today.
attempt to perform one tomorrow.
I have
Oh, you're-
Revivify, but he
Has
doesn't have
it
a
been-
body. So,
Well, I mean, it's a skeleton.
well, I mean, Revivify requires your body to be intact.
Oh. Well, given that this is like kind of like almost a new spell, has it been longer than however the time limit is for
If you
Revivify?
wanted to try it, it's coming up. But like you said, it's also completely new territory that you're treading in. So
I think it's worth a shot with Revivify. This is technically not like going to be the Revivify spell. We're using it as a starting point. And then all of us need to channel the power of our tattoos into this spell that's being cast. Sound good?
Worth a shot.
We can try.
Armia taking command of the situation. I think, Rosalind, I think you realize whether you think it's going to work or not. You certainly don't want to stand up to her and tell her no right now. And on the
No.
You don't have to say it like
Roz-
that.
Roz knows how to follow orders.
and on the off chance that something like this works, I mean, Hermia knows more about magic and Arcana than anyone in this group is even close to. So
Yeah, Roz isn't gonna pretend that she knows what she's doing.
No.
Life and death, when it comes to bring someone back, is through will. So the stronger we feel about bringing Leo back to us, I say the odds of this working out become greater.
All right.
who
Roz
is
will-
going to helm this ritual? I would say probably either the person who's casting it, or I would let Hermia do it, unless somebody else wants to try and argue for why they think they could sort of be the center focus for this.
No, I would probably put Hermia in charge.
Yeah,
Roz will handle
think I-
casting the Revivify, but she doesn't know anything
All right,
beyond that.
so Hermia, go ahead and give me another Arcana check. I want you to do this one at disadvantage, as you are attempting to use a school of magic that you don't
And
understand
I don't know anything about.
to create a spell that doesn't exist when you're technically not even a wizard. Like, you've studied magic theory, but you've never actually had to, like, transcribe a spell before.
Right. Okay. Can I? If I use inspo to like to roll straight, can I not use inspo to like bump it up if I need to?
Correct. You have to do one or the other.
I have to pick. Okay. Okay. Is that a? Okay, so I have. Second. Okay, I rolled a 17 disadvantage,
Okay.
and I will spend
17 total?
total,
Okay.
and I will spend 13 inspiration points to make that a 30.
Okay. Hermia gathers you all together into a circle. You lay the remains of Leo there, and you all begin to follow Hermia's lead. She's drawing symbols in the ground. She's using incense where she can. You have 500 something worth of diamonds.
It is my last diamond.
Yeah. Whether or not this will work, you
We
don't
also
know.
have the residuum.
But you use the diamond at the very least. So at least take out the 500 diamond.
I did. Yep.
Okay.
It was in her inventory,
Yep.
personal, I think.
Yep.
And you basically set up a revivify spell here, and linking hands, everyone gathers around. Even Luster joins in.
Aww.
Yeah.
Good boy,
Pocket.
Lester.
His pocket chicken.
This is an impossible thing that you're trying to do. Even just Hermia trying to come up with the ritual, the components, the spell, what's being said, all of the things that I think a lot of people here don't understand. Even those of you who use magic, it's divinely cast. It comes from a genie. You know, Hermia's technically even just comes from her sword, but she knows the theory of it. And just trying to design a spell on the fly like this is an impossible task. But she thinks she's managed to come up with something. And as all of you take hands and begin to focus that power and give that power to Hermia, she is going to try the second impossible task of casting cosmic magic to create life. So with your tattoo, that's a 3. And then with everyone here, Corey, Zealous, Roz, Maeve, and Zana, that gets you up to a +7 to this check. So that brings the DC down. Is there anything else that anyone wants to try and either give to the ritual to try and power it further? We'll start there. Is there anything that anybody has that they would like to try and put into the ritual to further power it?
Am I
Your
allowed
music
to,
screwing
or because I'm doing it, like I can't add to it?
We're going to do similar to what we do for the Fading Spirit ritual, where everyone will have a chance to, like, reach out in some way.
Mm-hmm.
We'll start with Corey, and we'll just go ahead and go around since Corey has.
Your music's screwing up.
Okay. So Corey, how do you contribute to this ritual? We cannot hear you if you're talking.
I bet you she's so mad right now if she is.
It's all good.
Hello.
Hello?
Hi.
Okay. Sorry, you were asking me what I wanted to do, right?
How would you like to contribute to this ritual?
Okay, I think Corey's a mess, just sobbing and just like grabs at whatever clothes or places a hand on Leo's remaining chest and cast Dream. I know that you don't think that you deserved a happy, normal life, and that you said it was only for your sister and your loved ones, but that's not true. We can have bad things happen to us, and we can make terrible mistakes, but in the end, you deserve it too, Leo. Regardless how fucking old you are, you deserve it as much as anyone. And I try to conjure a dream of and maybe everyone can see it since we're all connected. A younger Leo who isn't involved in the toil of criminal life and maybe was a farmer or a shopkeep. Yeah.
I think you all see flashes of this possible life in the back of your mind's eye. What skill would you like to use for that, Corey?
Gonna use my best one, which is persuasion.
Okay.
As far as for casting the spell, does that give me any buff or no? I'm fine if it doesn't. I just want to know before.
Yeah, it affects the DC.
Okay. I will spend. Ugh. I think I'm just gonna use the 14 of my inspirations
Yeah,
Well, I don't know.
you can if you want to.
No, I think I'll roll. No, yeah, I'm using all my inspirations. Yeah, I will use all my inspirations, so that'll be 9 plus 14, which is 23,
Okay.
and then my roll.
Zealous. Would you like to contribute something to this?
Zealous will just offer like an assisted revivify, I guess. I don't know if like what it would do exactly, but just like helping with more healing energy.
Okay. Roll a d20, add either nature or religion to it.
Oof. 13.
13. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
For those of you in chat who aren't paying attention to the chat, Corey had to roll anything but a 1,
And she was what?
and she rolled a 1.
And she spent all of her inspo.
That's so. That's
She did.
so.
Rosalind, what do you have?
Yep. So Roz is obviously like riding the revivify spell, but she kind of looks at, well, what remains, and she says, "That night in the Wuyan Gorge, when we were taking watch in that cave, you told me you wanted to be hearing about stuff I accomplished in 20 years. You told me that I had to stick it out. You told me I had to live. So you don't get to fucking die now. You have to come back. Because I'm sure as hell not praying for you. Get your ass back here."
I think that deserves an advantage.
Roll an intimidation check for me.
Yes.
Perhaps the first
Intimidate you
ever
back to life.
revivify spell or ritual made with intimidation. We'll make it with advantage.
Damn.
That counts as
And that-
2 successes.
Oh, thank God. There we go, Corey. Oh, this is. Sorry, I'm laughing because this is terrifying.
This is a roller coaster for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maeve?
Sorry.
I'm curious.
May I use? Follow me on this logic. Totally okay if it doesn't make sense. May I use one of my magic arrows as a way to imbue? It's both symbolic, but it also has part of the Moonweaver's power in it.
Sure.
To add to it. Okay.
Mhm.
So what she's actually going to do is she's going to take the note from her father and actually put the arrow through it as she adds it to his remains. And she's going to say, "You taught me that even in our age, we can change. And I know it is not your time yet. And even if you haven't been with your faith with the Everlight as long as I've known the Moonweaver, it's not over yet. Leah's out there, and we all need you, Leo. We all need you." I don't know what skill to use because I am not good at charisma things.
Do you have a skill that you think would be appropriate given the context and the
I guess religion,
actions?
it's only a +5 unless I was allowed to argue medicine or survival.
Religion it
Is your
is.
Religion it is, okay. I am going to roll a single die and add inspo to it and hope I don't get a 1. And I am going to add 13 inspo to it. Oop, that's 12.
Oh, I'm gonna throw up.
If we ever get like T-shirts made, that's gonna be Hermia's quote.
It
on
is
her.
for sure. This is Katie's like saying like every single day. I'm gonna throw
Alright.
up.
13 plus 13 is 26 plus religion plus 5
26 is more than enough.
Okay.
Okay. Gets to Zana. Look, old man. We all knew your time was coming soon anyway, so they're gonna be... We're going to be all right without you. But I never took you for a quitter. So, find your way back, or that's what you're going to be known as. Leo would smile. The quitter.
Damn. What role is that? I wanna know
Also
what your role is.
intimidation.
I'm just checking.
And which isn't a great like skill for this. It's a high DC.
I want you all to know if this happens to me, please don't do intimidation. I'll cry.
Please don't intimidate me back.
Roll a mean check.
But with a 19 and a +2, it is a success. Hermia, back around to you.
So, Hermia's going to, as weird as it sounds, she's going to, I guess, like, reach out to the Raven Queen for strength, which is odd because the Raven Queen is like the passage from life to death. But in this case, it's something, this magic, this unnatural magic that just unmakes things and does not follow through the natural cycle of life and death. And how dare this architect try to defile her, domain by just seeing fit to try to unmake the world, to defy death and like just saying like, oh, there's just nothing, so there can't be any death.
Hermia riling up the Raven Queen.
And what would you like to roll in place of this?
I mean, I guess religion would be the best one.
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead and make a religion check for me.
Okay, here we go. That is a 17 plus 7.
That will do it. And though it provides no additional bonuses, since he doesn't have a tattoo of his own to participate, Luster is still one of the second chances.
Yeah.
And as Hermia finishes her moment, you watch as Luster reaches up and takes the ribbon off of himself and goes over and places it on Leo's chest.
Oh, that's right.
It's really sad.
It's so sweet. I forgot about the ribbon. A baby.
The DC for this, as I had stated prior, for attempting to utilize this cosmic magic for pure creation is an impossible task. Your DC started at 30.
That's fair.
And there's no modifiers. It's a straight D20 roll. With each of your contributions, you were able to get your DC down to a 14. So I am going to roll a d20.
Oh, God.
Go up.
And you need a 40 or higher for this to succeed.
40 or higher?
Sorry,
A 14, I hope.
Yeah,
14
I hope you said 14 because I was
or
just gonna
higher.
have a heart attack.
You need a
Well, I was gonna
14
say
or
that it's
higher.
impossible. What? Oh, God.
I'm still gonna have a heart attack. I'm gonna throw up.
Yeah, I mean...
Oh my god.
Each of your tattoos begins to glow as you all give your power and focus as hard and intensely as you can on Hermia. The runes, the ley lines, the sigils that have been carved into the ground, the chalk that has been laid around, it begins to thrum. It begins to glow. You feel this sensation. You recognize the power as what you've wielded before. And Hermia, as you focus, trying to channel this energy, this power into something like this, it's like trying to contain fire just within the palm of your hands, and it burns and it lashes out, and pain begins to creep up into the back of your head as a migraine sets in, and the power in this ritual begins to wane. And you push yourself further, and you push yourself harder, and Rosalind, you look over and see that with her eyes closed, her fists clenched, that blood is beginning to run from her nose and from the corner of her eye. And the harder that you try to push Hermia, the glow in this ritual begins to fade. And all of you can feel the power, the influence that you're trying to give to Hermia through your tattoos, the exhaustion from what you've been through sets in, and you can't hold the thread of that power. And Hermia, you can't seem to form this into the spell that you were hoping it would be.
Is there anything I could do?
No.
Or give?
This is beyond you.
Roz hugs Hermia from behind.
God damn it. That was a really good moment, too.
It was. You tried. Let's rewind time a little bit here. Leo. You toss one of those stones that Mr. Black gave you through the portal. You put your hands into it, and you let yourself go. You just become a conduit for this power, and all you think to yourself is, this fucking thing needs to close. You give your prayer to the Everlight. And as you feel this intense heat and this energy rushing through you, it scares you. I think you understand the threat and the danger of what it is that you've allowed yourself to be a passage for. And you hear a whisper of a voice that you don't recognize that just says, "Fall." And everything goes white. You see the world of Exandria. You see this scene where your friends are. It's torn away from you. And as you fall back into just this blackness, this void, into nothing, you watch as this torn vision of your world and your life fades away. And there's no pain. There's There's a lightness to you as you feel yourself begin to unravel. What are the last thoughts that are going through Leo's mind as he is unmade?
I know I'm not worth much to a lot of people in this world, but I hope this contribution is enough to get you guys through. And he just... one solitary tear drops out of his eye.
As those of you are sitting around his body, comforting your partners, holding whoever's closest to you, you notice a heat that wasn't here before. Leo, you feel a gust, which is strange because you're in nothingness, you're becoming nothing, and you see these emerald wings unfurl from behind you. Two arms wrap around you from either side, the skin dark, a bronze color, and you feel a warmth pass through you as that same voice says, "You're worth everything to some." Leonaris would smile. Your time is not yet done because you hold within you the light of renewal. When I created the vestiges for my champions, I put a gift within them to give your life to the idea of rebirth, redemption, peace, forgiveness. That alone earns you a second chance. And as you all realize that this heat is coming from the bracers of the Everlight, you are thrown back as a pillar of fire raises Leo's charred skeleton up into the sky, and like fire doesn't do, instead of eating away, you watch as he is sewn back together. And as those flames vanish, he falls to his legs, down to his knees, still smoking. And Leo, you've been reborn. And as those flames dissipate, you see left in its wake as they fall around Leo's knees 3, 4 feathers of a phoenix.
Leo.
Leo.
Right.
Leo, you
Running
asshole!
forward. How?
Yeah.
Did
You guys do it?
Team
Oh, we're all
pile.
dead. This is hell.
Ugh.
You're stuck with us again.
I hug you. Is he too? Is he?
Hugs,
burning?
hugs, tackle.
Tackle
he's,
hugs.
He's definitely...
Does he have clothes on?
He has clothes on, yes. He's definitely
Okay.
like crispy feeling. Like
He's in the nude.
he definitely feels like he's been like a cat who lays in the sun in the window for too long. Like he's a little baked, but
That's fine. I think Corey and I just go. Ah!
I think
Tackle on the ground.
probably half the party is just sobbing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Luster is like curled up on his lap.
Yep.
We created a new school of magic for you, you dork, and then you just come back on your own. What the fuck?
Yeah, I think you recognize, Leo, you know from what you just experienced that indeed the vestiges have brought you back, and as you look down at them now, they shine with a renewed light, and the bracers of the Everlight have awakened.
Oh shit! That's what we had to do to awaken them. That's crazy.
That's
I mean,
rough, buddy.
That's rough.
I didn't have to die to get mine to do that.
No, you
You
didn't.
kind of did. You had to drown in a blood
Well-
pool.
Yeah, I guess a little bit.
I guess.
I mean, it's not a specific thing that you have to do. It wasn't like to awaken you must die, but
yeah, it's just kind of
sacrificing himself like that
self-sacrificing,
was definitely
exactly.
a big character moment.
Do not. For fuck's sake, I was almost gonna bring your sister on here to do my own intimidation through the
Yeah.
sending stone.
Everyone, stop trying to kill yourselves.
I'm so glad you're back.
We all
Hey.
are.
Pat Maeve on the head a little bit like a daughter. It's like, you guys mean the world to me. You're the only group of people that I would actually sacrifice myself for. So
That's-
thank you for giving me that opportunity, but also thank you for believing in me.
That's so sweet and so fucked up.
Yeah, you feel an impact in your, I think, back right shoulder as Zana punches you and goes, "Self-sacrifice doesn't count if you bring yourself back, asshole."
Oh, don't even go there.
I
Donna, that is so
wasn't
not the
expecting
point.
to come back.
I feel like that's the pot killing the kettle black.
You know we'd be doing the same for you, Zana, so don't even go there,
Don't
hon.
put in even ideas. I will figure out this cosmic magic, and I will complete this spell just to bring you back so Maeve can punch you.
Hermia's like, I know this magic now, and it's over for you, fucker.
Leo,
I'm-
what did you experience?
Well, when everything went dark, I felt the cosmic energy starting to erase me. And then the Everlight embraced me for the first time. And I'm here. I don't know why she sees something in me, but apparently she does, and apparently you guys do too.
Isn't that the
Probably
point?
time that I start forgiving myself, and he just starts crying.
Oh, more hugging. Hey. we never stop growing, right? We don't figure everything out, even 200 years later. We're here. We're all here for you.
As you
I'm
all
just happy you guys still had the strength to keep going, though.
We had to. Couldn't let that be a waste. Couldn't let what you sacrificed be a waste. For giving everything you had for us, for my homeland, I can't even begin to describe how much that means for me, at least.
Give her a big old papa hug. I'd do anything for you, Maeve.
how's Zealous feeling in this moment?
Zealous is happy, but also Zealous is very quiet in the moment as well. He doesn't say anything.
Corey's just hugging you from behind and weeping into your back.
Rub her head. It's like, I'm okay now. Okay.
I think Corey just nods and is like, yeah.
So, second chances. I assume that perhaps a short rest is in order.
Yes.
Would you like to do that here in the
I
cavern?
just heard that popping sound. That scared the fuck out of me.
It's
Right?
weird. I can't hear it. Anyway.
I didn't hear it that time
Sorry.
either. Or would you like to head back to the cavern where Rayella and Sayria were?
Oh,
I say
well-
we go check on them.
Yeah, probably.
yeah. are low HP.
I will say that they were pretty well protected, given that Sayria can defend herself and that Zealous put up a nearly impenetrable wall that they could sort of just barely squeeze out of. By the way, Leo, I rolled a 2 on your resurrection roll.
Fuck.
God damn
I
it,
figured you
Rodney.
rolled really low.
Yep. So, because I rolled a 2 just now, the chances of that happening again are low.
Don't
Don't even
Don't
jinx it.
And as
even
long
say
as
This
this,
is all just a ploy that you
as
use
long-
to drain our inspiration. So
as
you knew it
long as
wasn't gonna
this
work.
is a 3 or higher, Rayella and Sayria survived.
I'm okay. Cool.
God.
So as you move through the woods back towards the cave where you left them, you see the rocky outcroppings as they reach up. It looks a bit different from when you left. You see where the wall of rock should be, but it is covered in vines that aren't dissimilar to the ones that had taken Norrison. And as you get closer and look around, the area where you need to squeeze through is covered in them. It's completely filled up. But none of the
Wait, what?
vines seem to be moving. They don't seem to be alive.
Clever.
Oh.
We'll go over and Roz will call out for them.
So
let
we'll
them know
yeah.
we're back safe.
So we'll Maeve. Riella?
You hear muffled noises, but you can't make out what they are or what's being said.
Did we get
Start
rid of
pulling the vines down.
Yeah.
You have to
Hates them.
cut at them as you do and begin to pull them free. And eventually, as you are able to pull them out, what you pull from it isn't vines, but a creature of some sort that had tried to squeeze through. And as you pull it, there are several arrows in the front of it. And it seems that as it was pushing in to get towards them, Rayella was able to slay it, but it then
Was stuck there.
in the entrance. As she comes out with Sayria following her, who looks even more traumatized.
Oh, thank God.
She looks the rest of you up and down. Well, you look like shit, but... And she looks up.
Hermia hugs her. Hugs this strange woman.
Oh. Yeah, okay. She hugs you back.
And hugs the little girl, too. And it's just like,
She hugs you
I'm
back.
so glad you guys are okay.
And
Yeah.
you did it then?
We
Yes,
did it. The portal's
did.
closed. We haven't looked into the caves yet, or the underground yet, but it was close. But yes, it's closed.
I've never been I've never been to the old cities and tunnels myself, but I know that wherever they are inside, it would be pretty deep. With as late as it is, and with all of you looking how you look, it's probably better to maybe rest here through the night.
Well, the danger has mostly passed, so I think that would probably be for the best. I look around at everyone.
And
Yeah.
We're not gonna.
And also
ahead,
to
sorry.
note, the portal has closed, but at least now, within the immediate, 30 minutes to an hour since closing the portal, the grove still looks the same.
Oh.
You still feel
Still feel.
the effects of the sickness.
She coughs as she realizes that. Unfortunately, I don't think that's the portal's fault that we had this blight, or this blight can't be cured just by closing the portal.
I think whatever is causing this blight on the land caused the portal, and it wasn't, because of the portal that there was blight.
Maybe I will say that having got a good look into the portal, into that world, a lot of the corruption that you see here mirrors that, just not as severely. So it could be. Could be
Or
that
it
you're
could
right.
be-
It could be that it takes some time.
Yeah, it could be
To heal.
time. Hell, could be that something is here. Kind of like the siren lady. Either way, we're not going to make any headway without some rest. And if it is true that it's just going to take time, then well, I don't know what that means for the rest of the Pallid Elves here. She'll say she kind of looks up at the other two, at Rael and Syria.
Well, we know that by leaving or living underground, at least, the sickness goes away, so maybe we'll just have to find a new home. Nothing new, right?
Nothing new, I guess.
All right, so with that, everyone's going to settle down for the night to take a long rest.
Yes,
Um,
please.
Technically, if you were to fuse up the rest of the sort of cave here, you could not have to worry as much about taking watches if you don't want to.
I think we'll probably take watches as normal.
We'll still take watches,
Yeah.
but I think we are going to be in the cave, though. I
Yeah,
don't think that's...
For sure in the cave.
Yeah.
Okay. Well then, how would we like to divvy up watches? Is there anyone that anyone really wants to have a chat with?
Hermia will do it with Roz.
Hermia and Roz?
I'll do it with anybody who wants to talk to Leo.
I think Corey does.
We'll do
Corey, you
Leo
wanna talk
and
to Leo?
Corey.
And I can do it with Zana and Zealous. Unless Zana wants to be somewhere else, that's fine too. But
Zana,
I'll do it
Maven,
with Zealous
Zealous. All right. So as everyone packs in there, I assume somebody probably has a spell to maybe mold a little bit of stone or do a little bit more of a wall of stone. So Rosalind, Hermia, everyone else, as quickly as they can, or perhaps through some strained effort or just exhaustion, are able to find sleep.
While we're taking watch, do you mind if I sew myself up?
Oh, of course. I can help. I'm not really
Say, but I think
good at
between the resurrection and
medicine.
your lay on hands, you don't necessarily have any open wounds. Scarring will be to your
Discretion.
discretion. Obviously, you're still very, very sore, and extended use of magic could, over time, clean them up as much or as little as you'd like them to.
She does get her armor off and kind of like holds it up by the torch and just sees like little beams of light where the sickles pierce through it, and it's just like, well, guess I was due for a replacement anyway.
Your armor now has -2 AC.
Bummer.
God, Robbie.
I'm kidding.
Sets it down and just leans up against the wall.
I'm sorry. I left you behind. I shouldn't have rushed off ahead.
What? What?
There was like active danger, and instead of, trying to protect everyone, I just rushed ahead.
You did what you were supposed to do. You went up and helped to close the portal, which takes a large group of us.
Doesn't make it any easier.
I'm the one who didn't live up to her end of the bargain.
Hey, I wasn't ready to like, I know eventually I'll have to, but I just need you here right now.
Hey, don't worry about that. It was like getting knocked unconscious, and I've been knocked unconscious a lot in my life.
I don't think that's a good thing to have happen either.
No, probably not, but Sarah certainly never thought so. But she said it was something I tended to do in my lifetimes, so, you know. That was really clever with the cosmic magic.
Yeah, I feel like I was onto something.
Yeah, well, I mean, putting together a spell like that on the fly is... I mean, I don't know a ton about magic, but I think my Aunt Drea would have said you were insane to even try.
I think from back in the cave a little ways, you hear Zana say, "She's just lucky we didn't summon Black Bill."
Hey, it's not wild magic, though.
Don't even put that in the ether. Nah. Oh, that's sleep.
I mean, I was always good at theory stuff, you know? Like, what is possible.
Yeah.
And it felt like it made sense. And also, I was just, more than anything, I was mad. And I still kind of am mad. Like, what is the point of being the champion of the Raven Queen if I can't, you know, stop threats to, like, the natural order of things, to the cycle of life and death? That, like, this architect is just free to just unmake and disrupt something like that. It shouldn't be possible, but then as we've seen that it is. Like, I feel like, you know, I became her champion because I wanted to fight against this power of the architect, basically taking control of everyone's destiny, because he doesn't think that, like, you know, we're entitled to live and die how we choose. But I can't do anything about it. It made me feel powerless.
I think we have a lot of gifts. We can do things that people can't do. We can do a revivify spell. Corey has a genie that grants wishes. And I think that the stronger you get, the more you expect to be able to control things. And I think what we learn is that life doesn't work that way. It can't be controlled. No matter how strong you get. No matter what goddess or god you worship. The one universal constant, I think, is that shit happens. Yeah, what this architect does is, well, terrifying, unnatural, wrong. But the funny thing about great powers like that, she's like clearly straining to remember like any of her studies right now, is that they're usually opposed by equal and opposite. That's us.
If the architect is unmaking, what is the oracle?
So just to put it out there, because I think because you would both know this, the oracle was made by the architect to safeguard Exandria. The architect is both creation.
For some reason, I thought they were created at the same time.
Nope. So the architect creates, and then eventually he returns to uncreate, and then recreate again. It's just a cycle.
The oracle stands in the way of that.
Ah. So, but it doesn't make any sense where the architect like came in and what is their role, because things live and die and cycle on their own. There doesn't need to be someone outside like helping it along.
Perhaps whatever interest we are to this architect has run its course. And so he tries to end it, or perhaps our role in resisting him is to determine whether we deserve to keep going. It
Well,
feels needlessly cruel.
he I guess I'm determined now. I'm gonna figure out what this magic is, how to use it properly. Maybe I'll just use it against him, see how he likes it. Burn him up and turn him into a skeleton boy. I think I could do it. I feel like I almost got it.
Oz is just smiling. It is so nice for her as she hears you say that. I think you can too. If anyone can, I think it's you.
You know, you said you don't understand magic. I uh Lee wasn't a wizard, you know? He wasn't a paladin or a warlock. He just got magic. It was as easy to him as it was to just walk around or like swing a sword around. And whenever I would like ask him about it and try to get him to teach me, he would just say that magic is all about will and how strong your will is to like basically, I mean, naturally I shouldn't be able to burst into flames. Like that's not my natural state. But if I will it enough, it comes to be. It's the
I get
same
that.
thing as living and I guess dying.
Before I came here, I couldn't do magic.
Really?
I was a skilled blade, but no, I couldn't do what I do now. Call me a paladin here, but I wasn't that back home. I was just a fighter.
You never would have guessed.
Yeah. Can I ask you something that's a little out there?
Sure.
When you saw that man, when you saw Norrison die, and you saw his spirit and took it to the other side, how fast did it happen?
When it happened, it was like time either slowed or stopped. Like the you guys talking, like I was aware that you guys were there, but like sound and everything else just kind of faded away and was kind of blurry. Almost like how it is like when I hop into the ethereal plane, where like I'm aware of like what's happening, but it's like far away, like muffled, distant.
Right.
So as far as time and how long it was, I couldn't tell you, except that like in that moment between him living, being alive, and him being dead it was like at a standstill and was waiting for him to make the decision. Does that make sense?
She has a kind of complicated look on her face, but she eventually nods. Yeah.
So it's, I guess for the person that's going through it, time stops having any like meaning. The concept of time is tied to this plane, the material plane, and also if you want to get complicated, like the Feywild and all those other places. But also time works differently in the Feywild. But our concept of time is grounded into like where we exist. And when you're in between two places, time doesn't mean the same thing.
I understand.
How long were you hanging out?
It's hard to say.
Did Hermia just refer to being dead as hanging out?
Well, she's kind of assuming that Roz was like in the in between.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think for you, Roz, it wasn't as quick as it was on the prime material plane, which would have been, in between like
Seconds.
6 seconds. But it was still pretty brief.
Yeah.
I think probably however long you think it took Roz to decide, and then maybe less than a minute added on to that.
So she probably nod. A few minutes.
I'm sorry
Probably.
I wasn't there to help you. I assumed in those moments champions of the Raven Queen or anyone that works for her are supposed to meet you there in between. I guess since I was the closest one there, maybe they assumed I would do it.
There was nothing there, Hermia. No one.
When I was
Nothing. Just emptiness. A void. No more paths to choose, no more roads to walk. There was nothing. I wasn't even aware of my own body. But I was conscious.
when back in Vasselheim, when I was taking a swim in a big old pool of blood, it was like that at first. Just void. And then eventually I heard her voice. But before that, it was nothing. And I think the only reason I didn't go mad and go crazy, because if I'm like years like before I met you all guys, that hurt me out would have definitely just gone insane. Being in just nothingness with no one. But the only thing that kept me going was just that I knew that I had work that was yet to be done, that I needed answers, and that I needed to come back to you.
Makes sense.
But it is scary, that nothingness. And I think that's where the will comes in. How strong is your will? Can it burn through the darkness of burn through the emptiness? Shows that you're really strong-willed person, but I think you knew that already. I promise next time I'll be there. I'll make sure you aren't alone.
Can I ask you one more favor?
Anything.
May I kiss you? I want her to know for sure that I'm alive.
Hermia doesn't even like answer you and just goes for it.
They do.
Okay. Your watch eventually comes to an end, but at some point, I think near the end of it, without realizing it, both you drift off. And all of you come to consciousness around the same time in a familiar, starry void as you are set up in a circle around the Oracle.
Oh, are we not having our watch? Okay.
Who is both looking at each of you individually somehow. You have succeeded today and dealt a great blow to the machinations of the Architect. Just a few more days and that portal would have become an anchor in your world, the first of 4 required to start the next cycle. The energy that it took the Architect to keep it open for as long as it did was great. It was immense. And I know that some of you suffered greatly for it. You can feel...
When were you gonna warn us about fucking getting unmade?
There's sort of a pause.
Don't you say it. Don't you say it.
Were you unclear the dangers that would accompany attempting to stop and undo a force capable of creating the gods?
Okay, there's a difference between dying and just not existing.
I told you from the beginning that the Architect seeks to uncreate that which he made. That is the...
You could have been more clear, though, couldn't you? This magic that, like, it isn't even supposed to exist. A little warning would have been nice.
We know now, Hermia.
Well,
Just
okay.
be more mindful of it.
Magic is the name you have given to the laws of your world that mortals have learned to bend. The power that the Architect wields is his and his alone. But I have it as his creation, and you have it as my chosen. It is but a fraction compared to what he wields.
What caused the portal here? And when was it made?
And will this place return to normal now that it's closed?
That's good questions. The portal appeared a month ago in your time. The reason for the change was an exodus.
So everyone leaving was what caused the great change to open it?
It is what started it, but it was accelerated. It created an interference.
What do you mean by that?
One of the Architect's children was able to exert an influence he should not have had.
Children? What is the Architect's children?
Gods.
The deities.
Or
The crawling
deity.
king.
The Crawling King. But how?
The breach created some sort of interference. It isn't something that I know how to explain in a way that you can comprehend, but he is still trapped where his siblings put him in the far realm. But he was able to exert more of his influence into the prime material plane of Exandria than he has in the past.
And that's what corrupted the place.
It aided in the corruption. The gallows, the region of the world located on the other side of that portal, also played a major role in it.
Will that corruption clear up now that the portal is closed?
Given time.
Does the Crawling King still have that influence?
Is the influence like a champion?
Not quite. It is possible that with his increased influence, he could find and convert others to his cause.
So he still has influence then. He's not completely cut off when we close the portal.
Right, but he shouldn't have direct influence.
He cannot.
He's on the other side of the gate.
He cannot directly reach or meddle within this realm, but he is able to exert more power than the other children of the architect.
Sorry, just to be clear.
Yep.
So the portal closing did not impact that influence. That's been my question.
Correct.
Okay.
He still has influence. I would say that she communicates that, like the corruption, in time it could dwindle because the portal created an interference that allowed him this power. So now that the portal is gone, that influence will probably slowly start to die down. But she can't give you an answer on how long that's going to take.
Is there something we can do to make that process faster?
Perhaps. There are beings within your world who are powerful enough to reinforce protections similar to the Divine Gate. Reinforcing them and creating them are two wholly different things.
Said the architect would have to expend a significant amount of his energy trying to combat us and keeping that portal open.
Correct. Opening it and keeping it open.
Is that to mean then he will need time to recover before he may do so again?
It is likely. The way that these
Good, we could all use a
cycles
vacation.
of protection works is when the architect has enough power to attempt to anchor to Exandria, I give the power to Chosen to close them. He will continue to open them for as long as he can, until he cannot, until he's expended. And then Exandria will be safe for... It's hard to pinpoint exactly how long, but
Till he awakens.
thousands of years within your frame of time.
So we're
in
basically
theory,
the band-aid for this wound. How do we actually close this wound?
There's not an answer to your question. That will suffice.
Architect created her. I don't think he gave her instructions of how to destroy him.
The architect is not a being in the way that you comprehend. The architect is simply the title given to a cosmic force.
Not a natural cosmic force, though.
The architect created
if we-
all that you see and created life. It is
Maybe
the
at
most
one
natural
point
of forces.
he was natural, but he seems to have been corrupted himself.
You may think what you need to in order to
Yeah, I don't like you.
grapple with the situation.
So-
Okay, but if you gave us some of that cosmic stuff, right?
Some.
So I mean, obviously your understanding of it is a little better. Is there anything that you can impart to Hermia or all the magic users of our group so that maybe next time if it's humongous like that, we have a better idea of what to do?
With every portal that you close, you do grow stronger. And the tattoo on each of you begins to thrum. And for those of you that can see your tattoo, it grows even further to a 4th level, and everyone may take a ASI,
What is that?
ability score
Just
increase.
ASI, or can we do feet?
Sick.
ASI specifically, so you can put
Is that-
either 2 into 1 or 1 into 2 different ones.
Fancy. Con. I have to decide.
Level 4. And I will tag Zealous to make sure he knows.
Oh, did he bow out?
Still,
He did.
Yeah.
still max 20.
Yes.
Okay.
Do wisdom to 18 or con to 16?
Yep. You know what? It's time.
For what?
Time?
I'm gonna take my +2 in con to get it to 16, and I'm gonna take off my amulet of health finally.
All right. There you go.
So if anyone is interested in an amulet of health, let me know.
I wish I had the slots for it.
Did anyone have any other questions that they would like to ask the
Oh, right.
Oracle?
Are there any other large or larger growing portals of this magnitude in the world right now?
I cannot tell.
Is that normal?
No. No, it is not.
What's blocking your vision then? Why would that happen?
She kind of looks up into the void of stars. I think he is becoming aware of my paradox. And the vision ends.
Sorry, guys.
And you
Oh, it's fine.
all wake up back in the cavern.
Good.
A little stronger, but nowhere near to the truth.
Yeah. And somehow I have a feeling she's not going to be around much longer to give us much help.
Then maybe we're near the end of this.
That would be nice. Well, I still would like to speak with my people before we make any decisions of where to go next.
Of course.
Yeah, there's no rush.
Yeah.
Must
in the morning,
know there's a portal somewhere.
Right.
Yeah. In the morning, we'll head down to meet your people.
It's not like I can stay much longer. I'm going to get sicker and sicker if I stay here too long.
We need to return to Rexentrum at some point anyway.
Yeah.
All right, so with that, Hermia and Roslyn, you take a rest, and Maeve and Zana stay up to keep watch.
Maeve's gonna, kind of sit there by that entrance of the cave is kind of her part of her watch. But she has her new bow, and she's just kind of she's like trying to do like cleaning preparations on it, even though it's magic, so it probably doesn't need that much.
On
But she's trying to
the-
like feel useful with it.
Oh, the bow of Delenver.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah. I
Yeah,
got
yeah,
two
yeah.
mixed up.
No problem.
But yeah, she's just kind of examining, going through it as she is sitting there. I don't know if Sun is nearby or whatever, but
Yeah,
she wouldn't
she's
like.
sitting near you. There's only one entrance into this cave. It's not like
Yeah.
a sprawling system or anything like that. So it's easy to see the entire perimeter and like where people are.
Yeah. So she'll invite her to kind of sit beside her if she wants to.
She is. Luster is curled up next to Leo, who still has the ribbon pinned to his chest.
Yeah. He's a good boy. Despite what I had to get through to get that quiver, I still feel like I'm being hanging by a thread with all of this. But we made it, and that's what's important, I think.
Crawling through the dirt, was that difficult?
She rolls her eyes. I wasn't just rolling through the dirt. I was falling just deeper into this cavern. These vines tried to grab at me to pull me lower. I felt like I was being buried alive. Just quiet, alone. No one but me down there.
You're the only one that you need, Maeve. I think that's maybe what the, I guess it was a little more than a vision, but I think that's what it was trying to teach you or show you.
She nods. Yeah, I think you're right. It's weird. I think I walked into this group with a lot of people, including yourself, that were having to learn how to trust others in their own way, and it's weird having to have the opposite lesson. But everything's in balance, I think. Ugh. Kind of puts her head against the bow. I did not know if we were gonna come out of that alive, did I?
Neither did I. It's probably not going to get easier.
No. It's weird. This was all probably larger stakes than we'd all been through, but it was personal for me. That didn't make it any easier. But it did make me worried. I know we've all been trying to help other things that are not related to us. That's always been part of it, but to have this hit so close to home and having to put everyone in danger for it.
Well, I don't know what the chances are of portal opening twice in one place, but at least after this, you should be able to rest easy knowing that at least the Grove is safe.
Yeah. I'm not going to be back here for some time. Although I don't think that's going to be surprising to anyone anymore, considering what's happening here.
Well, with Zealous's tree magic, you could visit anytime you wanted.
That's fair. I'll try to, maybe. I'll see how my family's doing, whether my father's letter was just a fever dream or whether he still believes it after he left from being sick. Either way, I know what I have to do now, and I know that this is my calling. So, regardless of what my sister might be doing or what they think, I have to keep going.
Well, it's not going to take us all of our lives, so make sure you have a backup plan.
Well, that would be a nice thought. Ugh, vacation sounds like a nice thought. I don't even know if I've ever taken a true vacation before. It's not really a term we use. We didn't really travel anywhere. We just didn't work
She
for a
gives
day.
you an odd look. Vacation?
You know, not working.
I don't understand.
Oh,
And she smiles.
oh, my Sammy. Well, if you can imagine being somewhere where you don't have to work, some miraculous, maybe impossible thing to consider, where would you go?
Honestly, my work takes me to all sorts of exotic places, so
Hey, but where would you go if you knew you didn't have to work?
I'll think on it.
Well, you've seen more of the world than I have, so I'm going to be relying on you to make the suggestion.
She nods.
She'll lean over and kiss her cheek unless she wants more than that.
All right, with that, Leo and Corey, you are awakened for your watch. Maeve, I need you to make a roll for me.
Yeah, what kind of roll do you need?
The Pallid Plague requires a... Where is it at? Oh gosh, it's so far up. Gosh, where is it? Ah, here we go. I need a charisma saving throw. It'll be -2.
Oh, no. So I guess this will be this roll, but -1.
Hey, 19.
Cool.
19 makes it. And the DC goes up.
Next, I'll have to make a natural 20. Oh, well. So it goes.
Corey, Leo, was there anything that you wanted to discuss on your watch with one another?
Let Corey go first, but I think your mic's not working. It is
Hello.
not.
Yep, we
Now
hear
it
you.
is.
Oh, okay. I think that Corey wakes up and says goodnight to Zana and Maeve.
Zana takes you by the
And-
hand and whispers to you. You did a good job today.
I think Corey will squeeze on his hand back. And go to sit with Leo.
How you doing, kid?
I don't think you should be the one asking that. How are you?
A little overwhelmed. I didn't know how much I actually meant to you guys.
I think Corey frowns at that. What do you mean? We're all family.
True. But there's a saying, you don't actually know what you have until you lose it. And I finally understand that, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. I'm sorry that I've been a punk my whole time knowing you.
You weren't a punk, you're just learning. You're still young. And I know that sounds condescending, but it's not. You still have potential. You still have a lot to go through before you really understand a lot. So I don't hold that against you. I never will, never have.
You do too,
We
you
can't-
know. I mean, I you know a lot, but you know, I think it's really admirable what you do for your family. And yeah, we still have a lot of work to do, but at the end of it, I hope that you're thinking of everything beyond it. That you're not just gonna die some heroic death. You know?
I never thought of myself as a warrior, so I wasn't trying to go out like Roz wants to, or has tried to. But I do want my life to end with some kind of meaning. That's why I did it, to give you guys a chance to actually overcome this challenge, try to make it easier for you. I'll keep doing that, but I won't sacrifice my life like I did that today for you guys. I know how much I mean to you, and I won't put you through that again.
Corey's teared up. Good. You need to call your sister.
That's the other thing I was going to talk to you about. You're not telling my sister about this.
No, but I think you should still say something.
I'll call her in the morning, but I don't want her to find out that I did die, that I wasn't a thing anymore, a thought.
Yeah, that's kind of terrible to hear.
It'd crush her, and I would never hear the end of it. Those are the things I was trying to
Yeah.
convey before we went to the portal, though. It's hard to tell someone goodbye that you care so much about. And there's no easy way to do it. That's why I don't do it. I've always taken the easy way out. And I guess my time to take the easy way out has ended.
Yeah, I would say so. I'm really glad that you're with us, Leo. And not just because, you know, you're good at sneaking around and killing people in one hit. I'm just glad to
I don't
know
think I've ever
you.
done that, though.
Well, you know, like, I could never do that. God, I would probably freak out.
You're quite powerful in your own way, Corey. And you
I
can
think
only
we
get
all
stronger.
are, and yeah, with these guns, and Corey flexes and it just goes like down.
It's also you're super sore too, so like it kind of hurts to flex.
Mm-hmm.
I just chuckle a little bit. I mean, and I point to your forehead. You're strong here. And then I point to your heart. And you're strong here. And that's all that really matters. I give you a hug.
Thanks, Leo. I think, thank you for letting me know what it feels like to have a dad.
Never had any children of my own, but thank you for being a daughter I never had.
I think Corey just enjoys the moment.
Yeah, and I think that is a good moment to end tonight's session on, as the two of you finish out your watch together.